In the vast chamber of the Galactic Council, hundreds of alien representatives sat in tiered seats. The room was quiet as Ambassador Take walked to the speaking platform. His body, covered in crystal-like plates, caught the soft blue lights from above. He pointed to a floating image of Earth, a small blue planet spinning slowly in the air. "My fellow council members," Take said, his voice deep and clear. "Our exploration teams have found a new thinking species on the edge of known space. They call themselves humans. They are made of carbon, live on just one world, and have only basic space travel." Many in the crowd made sounds of disinterest. Some whispered to each other, not impressed by this news. Take raised a limb to quiet them down. "But I must warn you all," he continued, his tone growing serious. "Our research into their past shows something troubling. These humans are always fighting each other. They say they hate war, but they are strangely good at it. Better than they should be." The giant display changed to show images from Earth's history, battles, weapons, and military formations through the ages. Ambassador Doe of the Draxian Empire stood up. His dark purple skin wrinkled as he frowned. "We have seen this before," he said loudly. "Just another young species that enjoys killing itself. We should put a barrier around their star system until they either become smarter or destroy themselves." Many council members nodded in agreement. The matter seemed simple to them. Humans were not worth their time. Far away, on Earth, a small team worked in a secret underground facility. Dr. Hyun sat at her desk, staring at her computer screen in shock. For months, she had been working on a special project, trying to detect and translate any alien communications that might be passing near Earth. Most people thought her work was useless. Even her bosses had started to question the funding for her project. But tonight, everything changed. Her computer had picked up a transmission, not meant for human ears. The translation program was slowly turning the alien language into words she could understand. As the text appeared on her screen, Dr. Hyun's hands began to shake. "This can't be right," she whispered to herself, pushing her glasses up. "They're talking about us. About Earth." She read further, learning about something called the Galactic Council. They were discussing humans as if they were studying animals. Making decisions about Earth's future without any input from the people who lived there. Dr. Hyun quickly saved the data and picked up her phone. She had to call the director immediately. This changed everything. Back in the council chamber, the discussion continued. A representative from the Klal Federation, a species known for careful thought, raised a concern. "Before we decide the humans' fate, should we not study them more? Our data shows they have progressed from stone tools to space travel in a remarkably short time." Take nodded. "This is true. Their rate of development is unusual." Doe waved a dismissive hand. "Fast development means nothing. The Yorlans developed quickly too, and they destroyed their planet in a nuclear war. Besides, humans are divided into many nations. They will never unite to become a real threat." "I propose we continue watching them for now," Take suggested. "If they show signs of becoming dangerous, we can act then." The council voted and agreed to monitor Earth for another 50 years before making a final decision. None of them knew that their entire conversation was being recorded by a small Earth satellite orbiting a distant moon, a satellite they had completely overlooked. In her underground lab, Dr. Hyun worked through the night, translating more of the alien discussion. By morning, she had enough information to understand the threat to Earth. The council saw humans as primitive, violent, and possibly dangerous, a problem to be managed or contained. As the sun rose, Dr. Hyun was escorted to a meeting with world leaders. She carried with her the proof that Earth was not alone in the universe, and that the rest of the galaxy was already making plans for humanity's future. What the aliens didn't understand was that humans weren't afraid of war itself. They were afraid of what war turned them into. And now, with this new knowledge, Earth would begin preparing for a possible future conflict unlike any in human history. 3 years had passed since Earth discovered they were being watched. The world had changed. Countries that once fought each other now worked together in secret. All because of what Dr. Hyun had found. Deep beneath the Rocky Mountains, leaders from every major nation met in a hidden base. On large screens, they watched as humanity's greatest achievement prepared for its mission. "The Pathfinder is ready," said General Park. 3 years of work, using technology we've been hiding for decades. Dr. Hyun nodded. She looked tired but proud. Her translation had changed everything. When world leaders realized aliens were discussing Earth's fate without them, old enemies suddenly found common ground. "Will the ship's true capabilities remain hidden?" asked the Russian president. "Yes," answered Dr. Hyun. "The outer hull appears to match what they would expect from our public technology level. All advanced systems are shielded and undetectable." On the main screen, Captain Kim stood on the bridge of the Pathfinder. He was a calm man with steady hands who had flown experimental aircraft before being chosen for this mission. "Captain Kim," General Park said through the communication link. "You understand your mission?" "Yes, sir," Kim replied. "Appear cooperative and harmless. Let them believe we're grateful for their attention." All while gathering intelligence on their true intentions. The Pathfinder launched from a hidden facility in the Pacific Ocean. To most of Earth, it appeared to be a normal satellite launch. Only a few thousand people knew the truth: humanity's first faster-than-light ship was about to make contact with the Galactic Council. After reaching deep space, Captain Kim gave the order. The ship's special engine activated, and the stars blurred around them. For the first time, humans traveled faster than light. Days later, they reached the meeting point. When the Pathfinder dropped back to normal speed, the crew gasped. Before them floated an enormous vessel. It was at least 20 times larger than their ship and shaped like a giant silver leaf. "Look at the size of that thing," whispered Officer Min, the weapons specialist disguised as a communication expert. Captain Kim kept his face neutral. "Remember your training. We're just simple humans, amazed by everything we see." His second-in-command, Commander Bay, approached. "Diplomacy team is prepared, Captain." "And the contingencies?" Kim asked in a low voice. "All safeguards in place, sir. Project Prometheus is standing by." Project Prometheus was humanity's insurance policy. If the meeting went badly, if the aliens tried to capture or destroy the Pathfinder, 15 hidden ships would activate. Ships that had been secretly built using technology even more advanced than the Pathfinder itself. The Council ship sent a communication. "Human vessel, prepare for docking procedure. Your delegation will be received by the Galactic Council representatives." As the ships connected, Captain Kim watched the diplomacy team prepare. Dr. Hyun led them, wearing a simple Earth uniform. They carried no visible weapons. "Remember," he told them, "we're playing a role. We're the excited, grateful newcomers to the galactic community." What the humans didn't know was that aboard the Council ship, Ambassador Do was sending a private message: "These humans appear docile enough. Their fear of conflict has made them amenable to our standard assimilation protocols." The human delegation walked through the connecting tunnel between ships. The Council's reception area was huge, with a high ceiling that seemed to shimmer with stars. 5 different alien species waited for them. Dr. Hyun stepped forward and bowed slightly. "On behalf of Earth, we thank you for this meeting." Her voice betrayed nothing of what she knew about the Council's true plans. Ambassador Take, with his crystal body reflecting the light, nodded. "Welcome to the galactic community, humans. We have much to discuss about your future role." What none of the Council members realized was that beneath Dr. Hyun's simple uniform was a device recording everything. Behind her pleasant smile was a mind analyzing every word for hidden threats. And back on the Pathfinder, Captain Kim watched carefully. His orders were clear: appear weak but gather information. Because what the Council hadn't understood was that humans weren't truly afraid of war, they were afraid of what they might become if truly provoked. As the formal meetings began, both sides smiled and spoke of cooperation. But both sides were hiding their true intentions, like players in a cosmic chess game where the stakes were the future of an entire species. 6 months had passed since first contact. Every day, Dr. Hyun and her team met with the Council representatives. They sat in the same large room on the space station built specially for these talks. The walls were white and smooth. The lights were too bright for human eyes, but the Earth delegation never complained. Today was the 73rd meeting. Dr. Hyun's face showed nothing as she listened to the council's latest offer. Inside, she felt angry, but she kept her voice calm. "So you wish to make Earth a protected world?" she asked. Ambassador Take nodded, his crystal body catching the light. "It is a great honor. Very few species receive such care from the council." Dr. Hyun had studied the documents carefully. Being of protected species meant humans would need permission to leave their solar system. They would need to ask before building new technology. Council advisors would live on Earth to help guide human development. It was not protection. It was control. For 6 months, the human team had acted humble. They had shown amazement at alien technology. They had pretended not to understand when council members spoke down to them. All part of the plan. During that time, Earth had been busy. The secret shipyards hidden in the asteroid belt had tripled their work. New weapons had been tested in deep space, far from watching eyes. The 15 stealth ships, each more advanced than the Pathfinder, were now in position throughout Council space. Ambassador Do, with his purple skin and cold eyes, leaned forward. He had never hidden his dislike for humans. "Your answer, Dr. Hyun?" The council grows tired of delays. Dr. Hyun looked at her team. They had expected this. "May we have a short break to discuss this important offer?" The council agreed. The human team moved to a small room where they could talk privately. Or so the council thought. In truth, the room had been swept for listening devices every day. Dr. Hyun activated a special communication device hidden in her jacket. "Earth Command, this is Hyun. They've given us their ultimatum. Shall I proceed with diplomatic channels?" The screen showed General Song, a stern woman with short gray hair. She was the head of Earth's Unified Defense Forces. "We've reviewed their offer," General Song said. "It's worse than we feared. They want to turn us into pets, not partners." "I agree," said Dr. Hyun. "Then diplomacy has failed," General Song's voice was firm. "Initiate Phoenix Protocol." Dr. Hyun took a deep breath. For 3 years, Earth had prepared for this moment. The Phoenix Protocol was their last option, revealing humanity's true strength. "Understood," she said. When the human team returned to the meeting room, they looked calm. Dr. Hyun took her seat across from Ambassador Do, who was becoming impatient. "Your species' backward ways and primitive technologies endanger galactic stability," he said loudly. "The Council has voted. You will accept our guidance, or we will be forced to implement quarantine protocols." Dr. Hyun smiled warmly. "We have considered your generous offer and would like to present our counterproposal." She touched a small device on her wrist. It sent a signal to the 15 stealth ships positioned throughout Council space. "What counterproposal could you possibly offer?" Ambassador Do laughed. At that moment, alarms began to sound throughout the station. Council members looked at their devices in panic. "What is happening?" demanded Ambassador Take. A council security officer rushed in. "Unknown ships have appeared in multiple systems. 2 are in orbit around the council homeworld itself." Dr. Hyun's smile remained. "Those would be our ships," she said calmly. "Human ships. We've had them in position for months." The room fell silent. The council members stared at her in shock. "Impossible," whispered Ambassador Do. "Your technology couldn't." "Couldn't what?" asked Dr. Hyun. "Build stealth ships? Travel faster than light without detection? Hide in plain sight? I think we've just proven otherwise." She stood up, suddenly looking much more confident than she had for the past 6 months. "Perhaps," she said calmly, "we should discuss terms of mutual respect instead." The council members looked at each other in confusion and fear. Everything they thought they knew about humans had been wrong. The creatures they had planned to control now held the upper hand. "You've been deceiving us," said Ambassador Take. "No," replied Dr. Hyun. "We've been protecting ourselves." "There's a difference." The council chamber filled with loud voices. Alien representatives jumped from their seats, shouting and pointing. Some called for guards. Others demanded answers. A few reached for communication devices to contact their home worlds. Ambassador Do's purple face had turned almost black with anger. "This is an act of war," he shouted, pounding his fist on the table. Ambassador Take raised his crystalline arms, trying to restore order. The shining plates of his body flashed with stress patterns. "Everyone, please. Let us address this calmly." But calm was in short supply. On the main screen, images showed the human ships that had suddenly appeared throughout Council space. They were sleek, dark vessels that seemed to absorb light rather than reflect it. Nothing like the simple Pathfinder ship the humans had arrived in. "How did they get past our detection systems?" one council member asked. "The humans must have help from another species," suggested another. Finally, Ambassador Take turned to Dr. Hyun, who stood calmly in the center of the storm. "You deceived us," he said, his voice low but intense. "Your technological capabilities far exceed what you disclosed." Dr. Hyun shook her head slightly. "We disclosed nothing," she corrected. "You assumed our limitations based on your observations of our public infrastructure. We never claimed to be less advanced than we are. You simply looked at our commercial space programs and made assumptions." Captain Kim stepped forward to stand beside her. In the 6 months of negotiations, he had rarely spoken, letting Dr. Hyun lead the diplomatic efforts. "What you all failed to understand," he said, "is that humans don't fear war, we fear becoming warmongers. Our history taught us to hide our true capabilities." The room grew quieter as the aliens listened. For over a century, Dr. Hyun explained, Earth's nations developed 2 tracks of technology. The public track, which you observed, and a classified track. Nations competed, but also kept secrets from their own people. On the screen behind her, images appeared showing the hidden history of Earth's technology development. Secret bases. Underground testing facilities. Experimental aircraft that never appeared in public records. "When we intercepted your transmission 3 years ago," she continued, "our world leaders made a difficult choice. They revealed their secret programs to each other and began working together." The council members watched in growing disbelief as the presentation showed how Earth's nations had pooled their most advanced technologies. Ambassador Do shook his head. "Impossible. No species develops this way. The technological gap between your public and secret programs is too large." "Not impossible," Captain Kim replied. "Just unusual. Our history is full of war. Each conflict pushed technology forward in ways that peaceful development never would have. But we learned to fear what we might become if we let military technology advance without control." Dr. Hyun nodded. "So we created a system. The public sees one level of technology. Governments develop more advanced systems in secret. And only a very small group knows about the most advanced projects." The council chamber had grown completely silent now. The truth was sinking in. The humans they had planned to control had been hiding their true capabilities all along. "We didn't want conflict," Captain Kim explained, his voice firm but not threatening. "But we prepared for it nonetheless. 3,000 years of human warfare taught us one thing: peace through strength." Ambassador Take slowly sat down. "And these ships? How long have they been watching us?" "Since the 2nd month of negotiations," Dr. Hyun answered honestly. "We needed to understand the full extent of Council territory. To see if your words matched your actions." An older council member from a species known for their wisdom spoke up. "So all this time, while we thought we were evaluating you for membership, you were evaluating us?" Dr. Hyun smiled slightly. "Yes. And I'm sorry to say the council did not pass our test. Your plan to make us a protected species showed your true intentions. The chamber remained quiet as this new reality settled over the assembled representatives. Humanity was not what they had appeared to be. The simple, newly spacefaring species was actually a united, technologically advanced force that had been watching and evaluating the council from the shadows. What happens now? Ambassador Take finally asked. Captain Kim stepped forward. Now we negotiate as equals, not as master and pet. Our ships will remain in position until we have a fair agreement. The human revelation had changed everything. In one moment, the galaxy's power balance had shifted. 1 year had passed since the day humans revealed their true strength to the Galactic Council. The Grand Council chamber looked very different now. The seats no longer rose in tall rows with the powerful species at the top. Instead, they formed a perfect circle. Every species sat at the same level. It was a small change that meant something big. Dr. Hyun walked to the center of the circle. She wore a simple blue uniform with Earth's new symbol, a globe with stars around it. Many aliens watched her with respect in their eyes. Some still showed fear. A few showed friendship. Today marks 1 year since the Treaty of Equal Voices was signed, she said. Her voice carried clearly through the chamber. We have much to celebrate. The past year had been busy. After humans showed their hidden power, many things changed quickly. The Draxian Empire, once the bullies of the galaxy, had pulled back to their home systems. For the first time in thousands of years, they could not push smaller species around. Several races that had been forced to obey the Council's rules had gained new freedom. They had signed protection agreements with Earth. Not as pets to be controlled, but as true partners. The human paradox, aliens now called it. The idea that a species could look simple but hide great power. That a race known for fighting could actually want peace. This new understanding had changed how the Council thought about everything. Ambassador Take, with his crystal body now showing warm colors, moved to stand beside Dr. Hyun. Once, he had seen humans as primitive. Now, he was Earth's strongest ally in the Council. This past year has taught us all an important lesson, he said to the gathered representatives. We must never judge a species by what we think we see. In the past year, humans had shared some of their technology with friendly aliens. Not weapons, but medical tools, farm equipment, and clean energy systems. Earth had gained new knowledge too, ways to clean their oceans, grow food better, and travel faster between stars. We never wanted war, Dr. Hyun told the assembly. What we wanted was exactly this, a galaxy where cooperation is enforced by the strong controlling the weak. We wanted respect. Many council members nodded. The old way of thinking was changing. The powerful species could no longer simply vote together to control the others. New rules made sure every voice was heard, not just the loudest. Ambassador Take touched a glowing symbol on the floor, making a large image appear above them. It showed human history, from cave paintings to space travel. The Council misunderstood humanity completely, he said. You didn't fear war, you feared becoming the very thing you fought against for so long. You feared becoming conquerors. Dr. Hyun nodded. Our history is full of empires that started with good intentions but ended up controlling others. We learned to be careful with power. Some in the chamber still looked unsure. The Draxian representative, who had replaced Ambassador Do after he was removed from his position, spoke up. How can we be sure humans won't use their power to control us all one day, he asked. Dr. Hyun smiled. Because we could have done that a year ago, but didn't. We showed our strength not to threaten, but to earn our place as equals. As the meeting continued, Dr. Hyun's personal device buzzed. She looked down at a message from Earth. The first ship built together by humans and aliens was ready to launch. It would carry people from Earth and 3 other worlds to start a new colony together. When the council session ended, Ambassador Take walked with Dr. Hyun toward the exit. 1 year ago, I thought humans were simple, violent creatures who needed our guidance, he said quietly. I was wrong about everything. Dr. Hyun nodded. Many on Earth thought aliens would either attack us or ignore us. They were wrong too. Outside the window, they could see ships from dozens of worlds moving through space around the Council station. Among them was a human vessel, no longer hiding its true technology, moving alongside ships from other worlds as an equal. The galaxy had changed. Not through war or conquest, but because one species had shown that true strength means standing firm for what you believe in without forcing others to be like you. As Dr. Hyun prepared to return to Earth with news of the colony ship, she thought about how far they had all come. From being seen as primitive animals to helping reshape the future of all intelligent life. It was just the beginning.